Scorpio, listen closely because I'm going to say out loud what your soul has been whispering for weeks. A huge money miracle is coming toward you, and the big news can drop at any moment, like a notification from the universe itself landing right in your reality while you're doing something ordinary. Washing dishes, scrolling your phone, staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m. and wondering when things will finally change. You did not press on this video by accident. You were magnetized here, drawn in by something wiser than your fear and more persistent than your doubt. Deep down you can feel it, can't you? That quiet tension in your chest, the way your stomach tightens when you think about your future, the strange mix of exhaustion and hope that refuses to die inside you. That's not just anxiety, that is alignment. That is the pressure that builds in the atmosphere right before a storm of blessing finally breaks open, and rain starts pouring where you've been dry the longest. A money miracle is not only about numbers in your account, it's about oxygen returning to your life. It's the moment when overdue support, delayed opportunities and long-blocked abundance finally start loosening, moving, and flowing in your direction. It can look like a new job, a contract approved, debt forgiven, a client saying yes, a refund you didn't expect, or a hand extended from somewhere you thought was completely closed off. But before any of that can show up, your spirit has to be ready to hold it. That's why you're here now. This is not just prediction, this is calibration. This is your soul being tuned to the frequency of receiving instead of bracing. So take a slow breath with me. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your heart, and silently ask yourself, am I willing to live as if I deserve good things? Am I ready to stop preparing for disaster and start preparing for breakthrough? If even a tiny part of you whispers yes, I want you to anchor that readiness by typing in your heart, and later in the comments, I am ready to receive my miracle in perfect timing. Not for the algorithm, not for me, but for your own nervous system, for your own energy. Your words are not just symbols, they are signals. They tell the universe, and they tell the deepest layers of your mind, I'm not just hoping anymore, I'm available. Scorpio, your sign is ruled by Pluto, the planet of death and rebirth, and co-ruled by Mars, the raw force of will and action. You were never designed for a small, flat, predictable life. You came here to transform, to regenerate, to turn buried pain into fuel and hidden potential into visible power. That's why your path with money has probably never been simple. There are seasons where you felt like everything you built could collapse in an instant, and others where help seems to arrive at the last possible moment, like a rope thrown down into a pit right as your strength is fading. This money miracle is part of that deeper pattern. Energetically, you're stepping into a new financial timeline, one where you're no longer surviving by bracing for the worst, but gradually learning to expand into the best. Imagine the cosmos as a vast web of threads, and right now the threads of your effort, your prayers, and your hidden resilience are intersecting with threads of opportunity, timing, and divine orchestration. From the outside, it might look like good luck or random blessing, but in truth it's the meeting point of everything you've lived through and everything you were promised on a soul level before you even arrived here. This is why the miracle might feel sudden, but it is not random. Nothing about you is random. Not the date you were born, not the people who hurt you, not the dreams that refuse to leave your chest, even when life has told you to give up. If I were to lay out the energy of your situation as if it were a tarot spread, I would see cards that speak not just of cash, but of completion, restoration, and new doors. The 10 of Pentacles humming with the frequency of long-term stability, family healing, and resources that go beyond your personal story. The Ace of Pentacles glimmering in the corner, like a golden coin slowly lowering into your reach, an offer, an opportunity, a seed of wealth that needs your yes. The Wheel of Fortune turning, not as a game of chance, but as the visible sign that a cycle of scarcity, delay, and spiritual testing is shifting into a season of motion. For some of you, this may involve something official: an interview, an approval, a legal decision, a financial institution, or a person in authority whose choice carries weight in your life. For others, it may appear as something softer, but no less powerful. The right client at the right time, a collaboration that finally clicks, a creative idea that becomes a real income stream, or a doorway that opens where, for years, there was only a wall. Whatever the form, the message is the same. Your energy is being prepared to receive more than you've been taught to expect. But to step into that, you must also be willing to let something go, an old story, an old identity, or an old agreement with struggle. Because let's tell the truth, Scorpio, money for you has rarely only been about money. It's been tied to worth, to childhood, to memories of being overlooked, used, or made to feel like asking for more was being too much. Perhaps you were raised in a home where money was always a reason to argue, where every bill felt like a threat, or where you watched people you love sacrifice their joy just to survive. Those experiences carve grooves into your nervous system. They teach you to expect disappointment, to flinch when something good shows up, to assume that any blessing will cost you something you can't bear to lose. But what if this time is different? What if the miracle approaching you isn't asking you to trade your peace, your health, or your soul, but instead is a reflection of your healing? The law of attraction is often oversimplified into slogans, but at its core it mirrors something deeper and very real. Your outer reality tends to follow the shape of your inner beliefs, slowly, unevenly, but undeniably. When your inner story says, "I am always behind, I don't deserve ease, everything is hard for me," your decisions, your posture, and your energy all align with that script. You undercharge. You stay in jobs that drain you. You apologize for wanting more. With money, I can grow without suffering. The field around you begins to shift. You notice openings you overlooked. You follow intuitive nudges. You send the email, update the resume, raise the price, ask the question, say the prayer, not from desperation, but from quiet authority. This is the soil where miracles land, not in perfection, but in willingness. So this is your invitation to start making your energy match the miracle that's looking for you. That doesn't mean pretending everything is fine or forcing yourself to be positive when you're exhausted. It means choosing small, consistent acts of alignment. In the morning, instead of scrolling through bad news, you take a single minute to put your hand over your heart and repeat, "I am open to new streams of income that align with my peace." That's not just spiritual fluff, it's a micro reset of your mind. You drink water slowly and deliberately, imagining it rinsing out old fear and stagnant worry. When your brain starts to spiral into "it will never change," you gently disrupt the loop by asking, "What if it can?" You start writing down every small blessing, an unexpected discount, a bill that's lower than usual, a friend offering help, a new idea that sparks excitement, and you treat those not as accidents, but as the first raindrops before the storm. Even your body can participate in this shift. Movement, even 5 or 10 minutes of stretching or walking, shakes loose stuck energy. Sleep isn't laziness, it's spiritual maintenance. The more rested you are, the more clearly you can hear your intuition over your fear. There may be a moment soon when a message shows up that feels like a hinge. An email, a call, a text, some piece of information that makes your heart race. This is where your Scorpio intensity becomes a gift instead of a burden. Instead of jumping into worst-case scenarios or replaying old failures, pause, breathe. Let your higher self come online before your fear takes the wheel. Ask yourself, if I believed this could turn out better than I expect, how would I respond? Let that answer guide your next step. Your power is not in controlling the outcome. It's in choosing your posture. You do not beg this miracle into existence. You meet it standing up. And understand this too, a money miracle may arrive through something you once thought was dead, an opportunity you applied for and forgot. Say a person who had gone silent, a talent you buried because life got too heavy. This is the nature of Scorpio energy. What looks like the end is often a seed going underground to sprout later in a completely different form. So don't be surprised if something you assumed was over suddenly flickers back to life with a very different energy. What once drained you may now bless you because you are no longer the same person receiving it. Alongside the practical and energetic shifts, the universe may begin speaking to you in symbols that confirm this new chapter. Repeating numbers like 8 and 88, long associated with empowerment, wealth, and karmic turnaround. The color gold appearing in small ways throughout your day. Dreams of keys, doors, trains, elevators, or bridges. You're not required to obsess over these signs, but you are invited to acknowledge them with a simple, "I see it, thank you." That gratitude is like a nod back to the cosmos saying, "Message received, keep guiding me." You might feel drawn to wear certain colors more frequently. Deep green for grounded abundance, gold for worthiness and confidence, dark blue for calm clarity. Let your environment quietly remind you of what you're stepping into, a state where money is not your master, but your ally. Not a constant threat, but a flowing tool that supports your purpose. And Scorpio, we need to talk about one more thing. How you treat yourself in the in-between, in the hours and days before the news drops, before the miracle appears visibly. This waiting room is where many people sabotage their blessing, not because they are bad or weak, but because the discomfort of uncertainty makes them reach for familiar chaos. You don't have to do that this time. When fear rises, you can sit with it instead of obeying it. When you feel the urge to say, "Nothing ever works out for me," you can pause and choose, "I don't know how yet, but I trust something is shifting." When you're tempted to compare your journey to someone else's highlight reel, you can remind yourself, "I'm not late. My path is tailored to my soul." These are not empty affirmations. They are emotional guardrails, keeping your energy from crashing back into the old ditch you worked so hard to climb out of. Now, as this message moves deeper into your spirit, I want to speak to you gently but clearly about what we're really doing here. Everything you've just heard is not a contract, not a guarantee, not a fixed destiny written in stone. It is a living story, a symbolic map, a poetic reading of the energies that many Scorpio souls may resonate with at this time. Think of this narrative as a mirror held up to one possible timeline, one beautiful version of how your financial and spiritual breakthrough could unfold if your choices, your healing, and your timing dance together in harmony. It is a thought experiment for the soul, a prayer in the shape of words. If something in this message makes your chest ache in that strangely hopeful way, if it awakens a forgotten part of you and helps you feel seen, then you are free to take those pieces, hold them close, and let them inspire your next step. If parts of it do not fit your reality, you are just as free to let them drift away like clouds across a moving sky. Not every story belongs to every heart, and nothing spoken here replaces your own intuition, your own responsibility, or the practical wisdom of real-world decisions. No video, no reading, no message, no matter how loving, can promise money, erase risk, or remove the need for grounded action in your work, your finances, and your life. What it can do is remind you of the power already living in you, the resilience you've already proven, and the possibility that your relationship with abundance can be healed, expanded, and transformed over time. So, Scorpio, let this be your turning point. Not because these words are magical, but because something inside you is tired of living like you're cursed, when, in truth, you are being carved into someone capable of holding more light than you ever imagined. A huge money miracle is coming, not as a lottery ticket from the sky, but as the natural outcome of your healing, your courage, your willingness to participate in your own life. It may arrive through an opportunity you say yes to, through a door you don't walk past this time, through a conversation you finally initiate, through a skill you stop hiding, or through a blessing that no one but you and the divine will ever fully understand. Whenever it comes, however it comes, meet it with open hands and a grounded heart. Right now, as you listen, place your hand over your heart one more time and whisper to yourself, I am safe to receive. I am worthy of overflow. I welcome my financial blessings in alignment with my highest good. Let those words be your inner doorway. Let them be the quiet spell you cast over your own life. And when you're ready, write it somewhere, on paper, in your phone, or in the comments when this becomes a video. I affirm my connection. I welcome the miracle into my life. That sentence is not the miracle itself, but it is you stepping toward it. You are not chasing your destiny. You are choosing it. You are not begging the universe. You are partnering with it. You are not waiting for life to finally start being kind. You are remembering that you were never abandoned by life in the first place. Stay close, stay open, and stay expectant, Scorpio. The big news can drop at any moment, and when it does, you will recognize it because a part of you has been preparing for this day your entire life.